Right, this is one of the South Coast's top winter cod baits. It's also very, very good for bass. It's basically a whole cuttlefish. I've got some nice ammo frozen cuttles here. These aren't the massive ones, these are just large. They're absolutely perfect for the sort of fishing I do. I'm going to mount it on a panel rig. I've got size 6.0 and 7.0 Sakuma Manta extras, and that's on 60-pound mono there. The reason why I use 60-pound mono is because down on the south coast you get a lot of conger eels, and to be honest with you, that can be a real pain when you're cod fishing. 60-pound mono, normally the eel will take that first hook down and it'll just shear through the 60-pound mono and come off. So rather than dragging a conger eel up to the surface, having the rigmarole of unhooking it, normally they just bite you off. So that's why I use that. So I'll show you how to mount a whole cuttlefish. Okay, it's time to get messy. Well, not too messy because this is a whole cuttlefish. I've got 7.0 Sakuma Manta extra, and I've got one of their 6.0 Sakuma Manta extra panel hooks on 60-pound mono. First job when you're mounting a whole cuttlefish, now these aren't massive cuttles, these are just medium size, which is ideal really. You want to basically push from one end and get that bone out, because you don't want that in there, because that's going to mask the points of your hooks. It could even blunt the points of your hooks. There's nothing else that you need to do, just remove that bone, get rid of that. Now, some people like to remove the beak, which is in there, inside the cuttle's head, which is the mouth. You can just pull that bit out, that's that gone. Now, it's pretty simple to do. I like to work on the white side. I'll just turn that round so you can see. Right, so this way, hook goes in from the top. Try and keep this as central as you can. Pull the hook all the way through. Go in through the hole that you just made. Like that again. Hook all the way through. And go in through that bit, and as you go through, what we want to do is make sure that that hook point comes out of the head in between the eyes, like so. Just put it so that the eye of the hook goes in. Pull your trace. See, that will slide up and down inside, quite lovely there. Just nestle that up so that it sits nicely. And then to secure the bait, bring your top hook down. I like to give it at least 4 turns, especially when I'm using big baits like this. Go through the tip of the body, like so. If you pull on that trace line until it gets tight, that locks that hook in place, which is basically, that takes all the brunt of your casting weight if you're going to be casting this bait. Most times, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be dropping this down tide. So there you go, there's your hook bait. And you'll notice here, this is just my personal preference. I like to have one hook pointing up and the other one pointing down, because this bait will spin in the tide ever so slightly and it will just waft in the tide. It's just how I fish this bait. I always have one hook pointing up and one hook pointing down, so no matter what way the cod grabs hold of that, if it's not going to swallow it whole, there's a hook there that's going to hook it. You can whip this up with bait elastic, but you don't really need to. I mean, I'm pulling on that quite tightly. It's not going to go anywhere. There you go. Absolutely brilliant winter cod bait, and very, very messy, as you can see.